Importance of drinking water in sheep and goat. Actually, water is highly neglected and unfocused area because we only focus on energy, protein, minerals, and vitamins. But water is also comes under as an inorganic nutrient, and it forms 65 to 70% of the body weight of sheep and goat, and even 10% loss of water may cause death. And not only quality also important in case of drinking water because it affects health of animal, and its quality must be checked once every 3 to 4 month interval, and it is determined by physical, chemical, and biological tests. Safe and clean water because the dirty water affect their health also like human beings. These are the pictures depicting three types of feeders, and upper two pictures depicting two pictures which becomes dusty after 2 to 3 hours because of dust in surrounding air. But at the lower picture, it is cheaper water. One stall should be sufficient for 10 animals, and there is no wastage and no dirtiness in this water. This is the video of some water. Question come in mind that what is the importance of water? It helps in digestion and absorption of feeds, transport of products, elimination of waste products, iron balance in body tissue, lubricant and support for joint and organs, and stable body temperature. And various factors is required for determining water requirement, like feed. In feeds, if dry matter increases, water requirement increases. If concentrate feeding is done, then water requirement increases because concentrate contain only 10% water. And if we fed succulent fodder, green grasses, their requirement of water is low. If feed contain more protein, then water requirement is more. So that's why it depends on feeds also. And other factor is animal factor like breed, age, body weight, stage of production, and health status. Like if lactating or pregnant animal require more water. Environmental factor like surrounding temperature, water, temperature, and season of the year. It also determines water requirement because for each degree Celsius increase in water in temperature, water intake rises by 0.52 liter per day. And various management practices like watering frequency, water temperature, watering utensils, balanced ration, and proper housing. It also influence water requirement. And water quantity and quality like organoleptic, physiochemical, minerals, microbial loads, and toxic substances. These are also affect water requirement. Animal obtain water from three sources. First one is drinking water, and second one is feed water, and third one is metabolic water. Drinking water cover 65 to 70% of the water available to the animal, and feed water 20 to 25%, and metabolic water 10 to 15%. Water from feed stuff is more important in animal who is reared in arid or semi-arid regions, where succulent feed, green fodders provide more water than because where rainfall is less, so drinking water is scarce. So there in arid and semi-arid region, water from feed stuff is very important. And metabolic water is generated from nutrient metabolism, and per 100 gram carbohydrate, protein, and fat, there is release of 60 gram, 42 gram, and 108 gram water respectively. Now these are the some picture depicting that some succulent fodder in arid or semi-arid region, which is provided to sheep and goat for their rearing to provide a good source of water. cactus silage also prepared. Now there is water footprint. What is water footprint? It is the total volume of direct or indirect fresh water which is utilized in the production system, and it has three components: blue water footprint, green water footprint, and gray water footprint. Blue water footprint contains water consumed from surface water like lakes and streams and groundwater, and green water footprint includes water consumed from rainwater, but it not includes runoff. And gray water footprint includes diluted polluted water. Generally, polluted water not used by animal, and surface water and green water generally used. Water footprint of concentrate is 5 times higher than water footprint of phase. And water footprint of animal product depends upon three components. First of all, feed conversion efficiency. Second, water footprint of the feed. And third one is water footprint related to drinking and other on-farm activity like cleaning, washing, etc. There was more water economy in goat. Per kg carcass production, in case of goat, it required 4,521 liters, but in case of sheep, it required 6,222 liters. So goat is more economical in water requirement. Goat required 1.7 to 2.6 liters per kg dry matter intake, and sheep required 1.8 to 2.5 liters of water per kg dry matter intake, and goat required 1.3 to 2.2 liters per kg of milk production, but sheep required 3.5 to 4.5 liters of water per kg of milk. Here also goat is more economical in terms of water requirement. And tolerance water scarcity tolerance is also greater in case of goat, but variable with breed and location in both goat and sheep. Drinking behavior is also changed in both species. Goat tend to drink a large volume of water in one bout, but sheep higher frequency of water intake per day. Or the higher frequency of drinking in sheep due to their evaporative cooling mechanism, because sheep panted more frequently than goats. Urine is more concentrated in goat because renal tubule in this loop of Henle is present, which is thicker and longer, where water absorption is more. So urine excreted is as a concentrated urine. And feces moisture is also around 60% in case of goat and around 65% in case of sheep. And water intake happens primarily during the daytime. More than 80% of the volume is taken between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Night activity is very low, and less than water consumption occur. Less than 1% of daily volume is taken between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And drinking behavior includes drinking frequency per day 5 to 20, and volume per drinking time 0.4 to 0.7 liter. Time spent drinking per day is 1 to 2 minutes, and single drinking time approximately 15 to 20 seconds. Intake speed includes 1.5 to 3.5 liter per minute. Goat meat, after using 29% water, produces 31% of the total meat, and sheep, after utilizing 25% of water, produces 23% of meat. In India, in present scenario, due to vast industrialization and climate change, there is lowering of groundwater level and drying of surface water. So, and due to climate change, there is unpredictable monsoon and delayed monsoon. There was many problems that leads to scarcity and huge gap existing between water supply and projected demand. This picture predicting about climate change impact on water resources. This affects animal health in different part of countries. This scarcity led to dehydration in sheep and goat and many cases absorbed in field conditions. And dehydration percentage is estimated using skin punching. And if skin tank duration is 6 seconds, for example, then dehydration is estimated as 8% according to this formula. And pinching of the loose skin along the back or side of neck or chest, it is the test done for skin pinching. And after pinching, if the skin laid flat, it is not dehydrated, and if skin stay momentarily tented, it is dehydrated. If dehydration is less than 5%, then no abnormalities, no depression. But if it is 8%, moderate depression, and if greater than 10%, then severe depression and weakness occurs along with shrunken eye and cold extremities. If dehydration is more than 8%, then IV fluid is advisable. And this can be quantity of IV fluid determined by dehydration percent into body weight. If, for example, 8% dehydration in sheep of 40 kg sheep, then dehydration needs approx 3.2 liter fluid, approx 4 liter fluid maybe we can advise. But sheep and goat have some physiological mechanism or natural mechanism that already discussed in the most circumstances that promote their adaptation to most hostile environments, like losses of water in feces is low, more urine concentrated, their drinking behavior, their human retention of water. So these adaptive mechanisms make goat and sheep to survive in extreme climate, like climate change. It is very beneficial to rear goat and sheep. These are the physiological adaptation to water scarcity in sheep and goat, like decreasing body water losses in urine and feces due to promoting water reabsorption at renal tubules and absorption at GI tract, and reduction in feed intake, mainly concentrate, because more concentrate feed results in more water requirement. Increase body and rectal temperature, which minimize evaporative heat loss. And T3 and T4 were found to decrease because it minimizes water losses by reducing metabolism and change in blood electrolyte to maintain osmotic balance. Dissipation of heat through lung rather than sweating, which minimizes water losses ultimately. And slower feet movement and longer retention time, which controls water losses. Decreased sensitivity to arginine and vasopressin also minimize water losses, especially during pregnancy. Water deprivation reported significantly elevation in serum concentration of triglyceride, albumin, total protein, and cholesterol. Drop in milk volume absorbed in dehydrated animals, mainly due to lack of water or alteration in casein production, absorbed under dehydration. So overall, water intake results in wide range of physiological responses which affect animal health, reproductive efficiency, growth performance, product quality, and sometimes results in death. Interestingly, some research findings indicate that increased digestibility of feeds were reported as a consequence of decreased water intake, because it leads to decreased rumination, saliva secretion, motility, and passes rate in human, because retention time in human is increased. So more microbial digestion increases, so digestibility of feed resources, feed supplements also increase. So this is the interesting finding. Water restriction, there is effect on meat production, because water stress increase cortisol and reduce blood flow to the mammary gland, and this indicate activation of the plasmin system and release of protease peptone with channel blocking activity from beta casein, which leads to interfering with lactose secretion into the lumen of the mammary gland. Now milk osmolarity and density increases and decrease milk production. Milk can be less concentrated in fat and solid not fat and more rich in water. Water effect of water quantity on immunity of animal. It also affects immunity of dehydrated animal. Now, carcass state is also affected by a scarcity or deprivation of water. Reduced water intake, increased proportion of racemic acid, eicosapentaenoic acid, while that of fumanic acid and deicosapentaenoic acid decrease, suggesting that reduced water intake may influence microbes responsible for biohydrogenation or de novo synthesis of fatty acids. So, water deprivation affects many in the body system, including microbes. Now, the quality is very important, and it is presented by a set of physical, chemical, and biological characteristics. There is set of criteria and standard for water quality. Water quality is extremely important, and they affect the productive performance and health, because water can be important vehicle for chemical, physical, and biological contaminants, which should be avoided during the damage they cause to animals. So NRC describe other chemical components like salt, toxin produced by algae, microorganisms that may result in change in water intake by goats and sheep and even affect their health. Many tests done for water quality like coliform bacteria, nitrate, arsenic, lead, manganese, because these are the commonly found in our water bodies, and these some organic waste are also there, which converted to ammonia, nitrites, nitrate, and nitrogen, which adversely affect the health of animals. Now, the maximum recommended level and toxic effect of these commonly found in the water body, like calcium, nitrate, nitrites, nitrite, salon, sulfate, magnesium chloride, arsenic, mainly arsenic, cadmium, fluorine, mercury, selenium. These are the mostly found in common water body, and arsenic leads to diarrhea, anemia, poor coordination. Cadmium also found at the level of maximum recommended level 0.02 milligram per liter. Fluoride leads to tooth damage and bone lesion. Mercury leads to anorexia, uncoordination. Biomagnification also done by mercury, eutrophication. Selenium also causes myocardial necrosis, pulmonary edema, and hemorrhage. These are the some maximum recommended level. And desired potential level of pollutant in livestock water supply, that is total bacteria per 100 milliliter. Desired range is less than 200, and problem range is more than 1 million. So these are the desired range and problem range of the commonly found coliform bacteria or other salinity, alkalinity. These are the news frequently comes that most animal died, especially sheep and goat, by deteriorating quality of water bodies. Livestock may be poisoned by drinking water contaminated with blue-green alga and their toxins, because alga multiply rapidly in shallow water when contaminated by plant nutrients, organic and fecal matter, and phosphorus. So sheep and goat are more likely to be affected than any other animal like cattle, because they tend to drink from the dam edges, while large animal like cattle often wade into the dam beyond the more toxic margin. So toxicity can change rapidly and can increase as the bloom age and start to die. Some toxins persist for more than 3 months before being degraded by sunlight or microbial activity. Water can be toxic to stock even after the bloom has disappeared. Sun-dried alga scum can remain toxic to animals for up to 5 months. So copper sulfate will remove broken alga when used at the rate of 1 gram per 1000 liters. Calcium hypochlorite may be also used. Ferric alum also reduces algal bloom, and barley straw also at the rate of 100 gram of the straw spread on the surface per 1000 liters of water may inhibit the growth of alga. Organic waste also there in the water body, which is contaminated by birds, animal droppings, animal carcasses, runoff, feedstock, intensive livestock industry, or sewage waste. This can be resulting low production, disease, or death in livestock. Mostly in the field condition, we see that animal carcasses thrown in the water body. These animal carcasses ultimately pollute the water and ultimately harm, because these carcasses ultimately infected by many microbes, viruses, and these ultimately affect the animals which uses this water, and especially small ruminants. So botulism and salmonellosis are two livestock diseases that may lead to contamination of water with organic matter. Leptospirosis and fusobacterium also two bacterial contamination that often use water and mud respectively, and that mode of transportation from animal to animal. So mass of organic matter should be removed from water by skimming the surface within 48 hours of contamination. Water polluted with organic material can be treated with chlorine. pH is also important because water for domestic and stock use should be in the range of 6.5 to 8.5. If the pH is highly acidic, so acidosis and reduced feed intake may occur. And if alkaline water may cause digestive upset, diarrhea, low FCR, and reduced intake of water and feed. Salinity is also a major problem in our water bodies because salinity is the sum of all mineral salts present in water, including sodium, calcium, magnesium, chlorine, sulfate, and carbonate. Goat mostly tolerant with up to 12,500 milligrams per liter TDS compared to fresh water. Salinity, if greater than this, may result in decline in food intake. Sheep may tolerate salinity up to 7,000 only, 7,000 milligrams per liter without loss of condition production. So here goat also more tolerant in saline water for saline water use. Stock grazing green feed can tolerate higher salt concentration than the same stock on dry feed. Stock grazing salt bus or salty feed are less tolerant to saline water than stock grazing other type of pasture. Pregnant, lactating, and young stock have lower salt tolerance than other older dry stock. Salinity level can be kept as low as possible by clearing tanks before each summer and scrubbing and flushing water trough frequently, twice a week being optimal. Saline water consumption reduces average daily water intake, average daily feed intake, average daily gain, and increase PR or also physiological response of endogenous goat to drinking saline water. There is also effect on fecal output and urine output by water deprivation and drinking saline water, because high TDS water increase free choice increases fecal output and restricted decreases fecal output. Like urine also, free choice increases urinary output and restricted decreases urinary output. And this research finding shows that there is more biotransfer factor value in the milk in case of sheep and then goat and then cow, buffalo, and salmon. These are the India uses approximately 85,000 ton of pesticides annually, and an increase of 8% is expected every year. And fertility in both male and female reported to be declined day by day due to pesticide exposure. Pesticide is also one of the most important contaminants found in the water body, because pesticide used in the previous time during green revolution. So all these pesticides ultimately goes to the water body to run off water and contaminate that water body, and that led to the biomagnification, eutrophication in the food chain. Ensure that water is free from contaminants like toxins, heavy metals, mineral salt, agricultural waste, and microbes. Drinking water should not be left to the stagnants. Only fresh water should be given to sheep and goats. Change the water daily, even if they do not drink the water from previous day. Because if water is contaminated, they not want to drink. They They also want to drink clean water like human beings. So change the water if they not eating in the previous day. So regulate the water temperature, make the goat water cool when it is hot and warm when it is cold. In summer season, it must be cool, and in winter season, water must be some water. Encourage them to drink more water by sweetening their water, by adding molasses. Don't leave too many goats or sheep to a limited water sources. Ensure that water is fresh. Make sure it is clean and container is also clean. Not to offer water for a lamb or kid up to first 60 days because they are on the mother milk. So they not require water. A proper planning at the farm and adequate management like feed management, handling and storage, land application of manure, land management, record keeping, and other utilization also should be done. In addition to nutrient, plants should be address other pollutants such as pathogens to minimize the effect of animal feeding operation on water quality and public health. At a minimum, the nutrient management for our plants should prevent the application of nutrient at rate that exceeds the capacity of soil and plant crop needs. Soil, crop material, and manure should be tested to determine nutrient needs so that excess may not be goes to the water body. And it only that amount that nutrient only used by the crop, and that amount should be applied to the crop in the field condition. Sustainable management of rangeland, use of succulent feed resources, optimization of water efficiency, sustainable harvesting and retention of wastewater resources, sustainable use of non-conventional water resources is also important, like tank formation for rainwater harvesting system that are the mostly commonly used in recent days. Never dispose of medication down the drain, pills, powders, or liquids. Water is a nutrient of extreme importance for goat and sheep and must be considered vital in any rearing phase. The poor availability and quality of drinking water would affect the goat health and sheep health production. Implement sound water management practices, including routine cleaning of water devices, providing ample amount of available water space per animal, which is very essential. Place water close to the feed bunk, provide adequate volume of water to meet needs during peak demand, because in the peak demand like lactation, pregnancy, adequate volume of water must be essential because it ultimately leads to the effect milk production and also health of the fetus. Have a close watch on drinking behavior and water resources at its farm level, and these small things may able to achieve big goal in better way.